Welcome back to the show, everybody. After a glorious week in Spain, I've missed the studio. It's good to be back at it. No fun at all podcasting on the phone. It's no fun at all. But welcome back to the show, folks. This is the Monday mashup, the one prior to the international break. What a pain in the ass. Joining us tonight, my co-host on the show, Marky, as always. How are we, Marky?
I'm all good, cuz. How are you getting on? Are you all refreshed and batteries recharged and all that?
I wouldn't go that far. I had a mare. I'll tell you now in a minute about this mare. I had a nightmare, like. But also joining us tonight, the Greg. So how are you, Greg? From On
What's
the
up?
Slab Horror Show. How are we?
Not too bad,
Speaking of
boys.
horror
What's the
shows,
story?
but we'll get into that later.
Fairly apt
But yeah,
for
I'll
what
tell
we're
you what I
gonna
was
talk
doing.
about.
I was in a place called Los Beliches, and we stay in a hotel called the Norisol. And basically what it is there's a train that runs from Malaga Airport all the way to Fungarola. It's like a dart, so it's perfect. And this hotel is about a 5-minute walk from that train station. And Hillary has an awful habit of shopping, and I don't shop at all. I barely shop at all. So we went to this place called Playa Mayor, which is an outlets place. And I bought a couple of pairs of runners.
Oh,
but
you're
like
fucked.
I had a 20 kilo case. No, it was fine. But she bought beyond the beyonds. And so she filled up her case and my case and Dylan's case while me and Dylan were showering. And my case suddenly went from about 13 kgs to about 21 kgs. So as I'm going down to the train station, you know yourself, the streets and the toils in Spain, they separate the toils and there's these big gaps in them. They're like slabs. So they tend to catch your suitcase wheels if your suitcase is heavy. So I'm halfway down to this train and one of the wheels catches. And whatever way the wheel caught, it actually ripped the whole arse out of the suitcase as well. It came right across it. Like when you pull a mitcher on your finger and it ends up at your balls nearly. And
Jesus.
it was a fucking nightmare. So I ended up having to carry this case, 21 kgs in 30 degrees heat, down to the train station, off the train, up out of the train station and into the airport now. It was a nightmare. I was absolutely soaked before the day even started.
So you did have horror on the slab.
We did have horror on those slabs. Yeah, exactly.
You know what you should have done? You should have just took out clothes out of it when you got to the airport and got changed.
That's what I thought he was going to say. It was too heavy, so I had to wear one of our dresses back on the flight or something like that.
I did pull a beautiful one on Ryanair because Hillary's case was about 23 kgs and you're only allowed 20. So Dylan's, I think, was 14. So I put Dylan's up on the self-service because we had the boarding passes. 14, no bother. Put the tag on to my case. Then I put Dylan's case, boom, 14. Put it onto his case, 14 onto Hillary's case. Worked the charm.
You're lucky though, because when we done that coming back in the summer, so you know the way then you have to give it to the girls at the desk that they take it off. They weighed all their cases again.
No, what your woman did was she just told me to put the case on the belt and scan the label. So I just put the case on, scan the label, boom, gone. Bang. So all three cases weighed the exact same weight.
You won for us, reweighed everything and added all the totals of all the cases up. I was like, you fucking key bag. And ours came to 100 kilos on the button for 5 cases.
Perfect, right on it.
See, lads, that's why I go to Bray on my holidays. You don't have to wait.
You don't want to go to Bray on your holidays. Pay fucking €47 a pint or something out here.
Martello for life, baby.
Greg organise a cheap Airbnb for you though if you want to pop out.
Good view too.
20-minute walk from the seafront.
You can't go wrong.
But it might be for me.
There you go. Yeah, and then do you know what I did as well? We were at the gate yesterday going onto the plane, and there was a lad there with a buggy with 2 babies and a load of bleeding bags. You know, the nappy bags and the changing bags and all this. And your one on the desk was being an absolute tyrant, and she was trying to hit him for baggage charges and obviously too many bags and all. And he was having a meltdown trying to fold the buggy, get everything organised. She was screaming at his missus. His missus was screaming back at her. Absolute nightmare. So I tell you, I don't miss those baby days one bit. I tell you,
what you should have done at the end then? You should have just went up and been like, Jeremy, you are not the father. Good luck.
Yeah, see you later.
Yeah. Oh man! Right,
I'll
let's
take
get
it.
into this anyway. We have a Premier League review to do as we head into the international break. So this will be a bit of fun. Some interesting results, of course. We're gonna do a little transfer roundup as well and discuss some of the kind of final transfers or key transfers during the window that we've seen. And then we'll take a little bit of news and all the usual good stuff that we do as well. A bit of ref watch. But before we get going in the show, Marky, you take us away. First of all, Hogan League trophy here.
Yeah, lads, like I say all the time, if you haven't, go on to Insta and give us a follow, go on to Facebook, give us a like. I've been receiving messages this week already for communions and confirmations for next year. And they've gotten the dates in some of the schools already. So we've been getting a few messages about that. And of course, we'll be at the First Legends event that was just announced last week. Leeds United Legends will be playing on the 10th of May, Saturday, 10th of May next year in Stradbrook. Cabotili's old ground. So I was chatting to Browner there the other day, some of the names. So there's gonna be the launch of that is on Saturday the 14th in the Camden, just before the Leeds United and Burnley game, and Ian Hart is launching the game, so that should be a bit of crack anyway, you know.
Awesome.
Shame no one likes Leeds.
Well, from what Browner announced it, and he was telling me his phone didn't stop because like the older generation, like my dad's age, and I'll be massive Leeds fans.
Yeah.
Some of them will be, and some of the names he was telling me is it's going to be unbelievable, and it's good. Obviously, like I was saying to Browner, it's good to see. It's the first time Leeds are here, so it's like I could see them coming back again as the amount of fans they have, and obviously we were chatting away. There's a few other things coming up next year in terms of United and Liverpool as well. So really looking forward to that.
It's good.
Next year's
Good
going to be
business to get
busy.
into.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and but we were just chatting there. Obviously, Solskjaer's here in the Helix, and Browners talked about this before, and they said there's still some tickets, like 20% of the tickets left. But Greg, they're 200 quid.
I wouldn't
And
pay
like
200 quid to
that
go to a
for
meet and
just
greet.
to see like we were saying it here before. It was actually this day last year. It came up on my memories on Facebook. I had George out with Sally Noggin. It was 20 quid into that, and you meet 10 legends, get stuff signed. 20 quid, like, and they're charging
Sound.
And
200
it's
seats.
sign out
So
you want.
like
Sign out you want.
anything
Yeah.
you want, like, do you know what I mean? So it just shows you the difference as well, you know.
But like I noticed that the some of the meet and greets for like celebrities and stuff, obviously not in football, but like, did you see the Al Pacino one last year?
No.
No.
$3,000 for a dinner and a meet and greet. 3 fucking grand.
Yeah, I was saying it
Good
like that. I
luck.
think Niall, my wife Yvonne's a big Sylvester Stallone fan, and I think he was doing
Yeah.
a meet and greet in Birmingham last year, and I was around the same. And you get one of these, 8x6 pictures, and you're just standing. You can't really even talk to him. You just go in,
Yeah.
picture, bang, and away you go. Like, you know.
Van Damme and Duff Longrum done one in, I think it was in Manchester or Liverpool Comic Con last year. It was 150 quid for an auto and 350 for a photo each.
Jesus Christ.
It's good luck.
Well, I remember queuing up in Stephen's Green for 2 hours to meet Bret Hart, and I got to the door of the shop and I was told I wasn't allowed in. So there you have it.
I met Bret Hart. I think it cost me 50 quid.
I was doing you a favour.
He moaned then as well.
You think
Jericho.
you think you'd a bad day missing him? I was with him for the whole day.
I
Did
just
he moan?
I tell you. Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say there. See Phillips in the chat there. He was at that meet and greet in Sally Noggin last year. I'll tell you, it's unreal. Stamina was there getting things signed by Yap Stamina, 20 quid in. So yeah, no, it's I'm looking forward to it. There's some big ones coming up next year. I'm really looking forward to. Greg, if you get a chance, you come down to one of the games. It's unreal, like, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, big up
Absolutely.
Baz in the chat. Also.
Baz is one and only comment for the night, and he's off now to play the PlayStation.
Nothing wrong with that
Watching
either.
Berlin or something. And Phillips in as well. Big up Philip. Good to see you, my friend.
How are you feel?
Just before we get into the show, lads, as well, today would have been the great man Bill Shankly's 111th birthday. So can't forget him. The Shankly Sessions, the show we've named after the great man, the Liverpool show. So 111th
Bilbo
birthday
himself.
today. So happy birthday to the gaffer. Right, let's get into Premier League. Let's talk about this. So we start off with Arsenal 1, Brighton 1. I'm sure you'll expand on it on Ref Watch. The goals by Kai Havertz on 38 minutes and Joe Pedro on 58 minutes, but Declan Rice receiving the second yellow and getting red card and being sent off. What was your thoughts, Marky? Thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I thought Arsenal started well. It was good interchange play with Saka, and for the goal, obviously Odegaard had a chance as well. He could have scored, and but
There's a big
obviously
chance too.
massive chance, could have changed the game completely, you know. But fair play to Brighton, they kept going and kept going, and obviously the sending off changes the game. I think it was the 56th or 57th minute, wasn't it, when it happened? And obviously
like
we'll chat about that later. But obviously when obviously Royce gets sent off, you could see Arsenal opening up, and Brighton, like I said, fair play to them. They're obviously, as me and Greg know, such a tough team to play against.
Bastards.
We found that out last week. But yeah, fair play to them. I was talking to Keno, who's usually in the chat. He's away on holiday. We were talking about last man standing, and he was saying a few people had done Arsenal. And I said, I think Brighton could get a draw against them. Now, I went with Chelsea.
Arsenal were 3-10 to beat them as well.
Ready?
Yeah.
Jesus, no, but like I said, fair play. Brighton are going to be a tough team to come up against, and don't forget they're still missing a good few players in midfield that are out injured as well. So they've a few players to come back and stuff. So, and obviously Declan Rice will be out for the game after the international break, whoever they're playing as well.
Yeah, it's against Spurs.
Spurs,
London Derby. Yeah, London Derby.
One. And as well, I did feel I felt sorry for Trossard, because obviously he got whipped off. When Rice got sent off to change the formation and all, you always feel for the lad who has to come off because someone else is after getting sent off, you know. So I think he's been doing really well for them over the last few games as well. So
I just seen there about an hour ago that one of the Saudi teams have put in a 30 million bid for him, for Trossard.
Yeah.
No,
35 actually. They turned it
35, is it?
They
turned it down, did they?
Yeah, apparently
it'd be worth every penny of that.
Yeah. I think the whole substitution there probably sparked that on, because I wouldn't have never thought of seeing him leave Arsenal, to be honest.
Yeah, don't think so.
Next up,
I'm a huge fan of Trossard, actually. I seen him firsthand in Anfield.
Yeah,
he's torn both United and Liverpool apart in the past.
Yeah. 2 goals apiece against us.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, Greg, Brentford 3, Southampton 1. Goals by Mbeumo and Vissa, and then Seguara, Adam Lallana with the assist in 90+4.
Easy win, really. Brentford were just all over them. Solid all the way through. I mean, Southampton's goal came in garbage time, really.
Yeah, 94 minutes.
It's not even like it was even to make it close, like a 2-1 and then got caught on the break or something. It was near enough the last kicks of the game. 3 good goals from Brentford again. And Mbeumo looks like he's back to the season before last. Obviously, he missed a lot of time with injuries last year as well. And Wissa's he's one of the most clinical, underrated players I've seen in the league. He's just consistent all the time.
Yeah, life without Tony seems good, doesn't it?
And what a debut for Ramsdale. Fucking shite bag.
Absolutely, yeah.
I couldn't stand him when he went to Arsenal, and I can't stand him now.
He got pretty cocky, didn't he?
He's worse than Jordan Pickford is.
Not even a pigeon near the goalpost this time, or nothing to make excuses about. Next up, Mark, Everton 2, Bournemouth 3. I had the pleasure of seeing an Everton fan and his son crying at the swimming pool over this.
That's because you pushed the son into the pool.
I enjoyed every minute of it, I have to say. But at
2-0,
at 2-0, I thought, surely Everton are going to get the points this week. They're going to get going. Now to nowhere, Bournemouth 87, 92 and 94. Cook, Semenyo and Sinisterra.
It was the joys of being an Everton fan recently, isn't it? Like, even, they played well. Michael came with a fantastic finish. It looked like a striker's finish. And then, they're 2-0 up. Seamus Coleman has a great opportunity to kill off the game completely. And he skies it over the bar, obviously. And, at 2-0, you think they'd be safe. In the second half, Brighton just kept coming at them, or Bournemouth kept coming at them. And in fairness to Bournemouth, the balls that they put in the box for the last 3 goals were unbelievable, But I think Pickford for the first goal in the 86th minute, I thought he should have came for it. I thought the cross.
He most definitely should have been coming out for it.
Oh, 100%. I know it's one of those, it's right in between the keeper and the centre half, but he has to be coming out, you know.
And then he came out for the other two then.
Yeah, and then he must have. I made a mistake, and then he comes out and he fixed those two up as well. But the scene, sorry, Greg, the scene when the last goal goes in, you see all the Everton fans just leaving the stadium like straight away.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I'd have done the same. If you're 2-0 up in the 87th minute, you don't even get a point.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Dyche doesn't come back.
Yeah.
After the break.
Get David Moyes back in.
But no, I watched some of that game, and Everton were in full charge till about the 83rd minute when he took off in Doy or in whatever your man's name is in the middle of the park. He was running the show for Everton, and then all of a sudden everything just collapsed. And it was gas because I fucking hate Pickford. I hate him.
Did you see him laughing at 2-0? He was laughing his balls off.
He's a cunt, he is.
Yeah. But the best one I've ever seen of him was in Anfield. I remember
he got the ball.
And then Alisson done it in the second half to piss him off. That was excellent. Excellent.
The wink at the camera, like.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, lads? Everton serious trouble this year?
No,
big time.
I don't think so.
I think they are. I think David Mann, he's using the chat said it on the first matchup that he thinks Everton will be relegated. But I think if they don't, it's still early enough in the season to change the manager and you know, maybe go on a little run. Don't forget how well they did last season with the deduction and, you know, picking up the wins on the trot as they did. But yeah, if they don't make changes, like Craig said, if he does come back after the international break, I'll be very surprised, you know.
Yeah, they're missing, I think, in the middle of the park as well. They're missing Onana big time, aren't they?
And
he was fundamental.
He looks a different animal now with Villa as well. He's scoring goals as well.
Yeah,
I'll be back in 2 seconds. I have to go and kill a wasp.
Yeah, fire away.
Oh, man. Is that what they're calling it nowadays in Bray?
Next up, Marky, Ipswich won, Fulham won. The irony of this game, Broja about to sign for Ipswich, then he backs off on loan to Fulham.
It's a mad one, isn't it? And like, in fairness, it was one of those, you seen it when you played against them. Like, Portman Road was absolutely bouncing, and Ipswich just went on the front foot right from the start. You know, they went at Fulham and at Fulham. Fulham are going to be thereabouts. They're a tough team to play against, but it was a great finish by Liam Delap. I've seen him do it an awful lot for Stoke when he was there. Obviously, my uncle's a big Stoke fan, so I always keep an eye on them. And you know, he had another opportunity then. I think the Fulham keeper made a good save in the second half. Then he should have scored with a header to make it 2-0 from the corner. Hit the outside of the post, if I'm not. But then, obviously, listen, Fulham got back into it. It was a great finish by Traore. You know, he gets a lot of abuse, and particularly off ourselves, like, you know.
And rightly so.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he was the one to come up with the goals and save them and get a point. And in the second half, it could have went anyway then, you know. But I think, to be honest with you, the draw was probably a fair result for both teams in the end.
Yeah, I think so. It's just the irony of that transfer, though, was just crazy. It was mad, wasn't it, really, when you think about it? Big up Del Boy. Make sure, folks, you're checking out Del Boy Gunner TV. Self and Kyle are on there all the time, and Warren and all doing great stuff.
I've watched a few of the videos, Del Boy. Very good, man.
Yeah,
I'm not obviously an Arsenal fan, but it's good to watch the content, you know.
Villa will destroy Everton next game. Del Boy, big up. Yeah. So next up, then we have Leicester 1, Aston Villa 2, and the man we were just talking about, of course, Onana, picking up the goal on 28, then making it 2-0. John Duran with the assist from Luca Dina, ex-Everton, of course. And then Buonanotte making it 2-1, and Didi with the assist. We did make the point, I think, last week, Mark, when we were talking on the show, that Leicester home, picking up points at home is fundamental to their survival.
Absolutely, and I do think that scoreline flatters them a bit, if I'm being honest, because I think Villa were very strong on Saturday. One thing in particular as well, I know, is Ollie Watkins seems to be missing a bit of a match sharpness, to be honest. He should have had about 4 or 5 goals this season already, and he hasn't. And then Duran comes off the bench, and he just looks on fire. I'd be surprised now. Obviously, I don't think Emery will do it, but I'd like to see Duran start against Everton. I think he's done enough in the few times he's come on to warrant a start. And obviously, I said Watkins hasn't been great. Tillemans obviously was pulling strings in the middle of the park as well, and yeah, just like I said, I just think Watkins is missing a bit of sharpness. But yeah, it could have been any score. It could have been 3 or 4-0, like, you know. But like I said, I think that scoreline flattered Leicester a little bit. And another great win, and like you said, a goal by Onana.
Yeah, I suppose with Watkins, and Greg, you might take this as well. But Ollie Watkins, I suppose, he had a kind of a long summer with England as well. Came back. But is he kind of beginning to believe his own hype? I think he was expecting a big move during the summer, wasn't he?
I don't know if he was or not. I think he just looks burned out, to be honest. He looks like he's just there, really. He doesn't look confident in front of goal. He looks like he's absolutely bollocks. His press isn't there like it had been. His movement has been a lot more sluggish than it had been last season. Last season he was sharp as anything. His touch isn't there. I'll tell you what, though, what a header by Duran.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I was just saying there, Greg, when you were off killing the wasp, as they say.
No, like, legitimately killing a wasp.
I think he warrants to start in the next game, because like he's done so well in the last few games he's come on. You know, he's been a kind of little super sub.
2 goals, isn't it?
Yeah, and like I said, I just think Watkins has lost that little bit of match sharpness, and I think maybe give him a rest. You know,
A goal will change all that for him, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I'd just like to see Duran get a chance. And like I said, Tillemans was pulling the strings in the middle of the park. I thought he done very well. Ramsey had a really good game as well.
The free kick was brilliant as well.
Yeah. The way they worked it, like,
Watkins is in Carsley's. He's in Carsley's squad, isn't he? Watkins.
Yeah.
It's okay. So
who's their other game against? I know, obviously us on Saturday, but who's their second game against on the Wednesday or the Tuesday?
I have no idea.
Who cares about international football?
Yeah, absolutely.
I say that until Ireland start winning.
Well, Ticketmaster put up single tickets for the match on Saturday, €120 for a single ticket.
Ticketmaster can fuck off after what they done with those Oasis tickets. The on-demand thing.
Shocking. Yeah. Next up, Forest 1, Wolves 1. Chris Woods on 10 minutes and Bellegarde on 12 with a really nice equaliser, actually. Took it really
tidy,
well.
wasn't it?
Yeah, really tidy. What are you making of Wolves, Greg?
Wolves, I think, are going to be solid. I think somewhere in and around 10th will do them this year. They have a lot of really good technicians on the ball. I don't know. There's an issue really with the goalkeeper. Obviously, Sa looked like he wanted out. They brought in one. Obviously, it might just be a backup, but it looked like Sa wanted out. So I was like, okay, if they lose him, it's a big loss. Obviously, losing Kilman to West Ham was a massive one, but they got big money for him. So I think they'll be okay. I think they look decent.
They're playing Greece. Aces just let us know there. Oasis tickets going for nearly 3k. Absolutely mad, yeah.
I'm sorry, anybody that pays £3,000 to see them deserves their fucking head examined.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely.
Come here, just on that Wolves Forest game. Do you think Johnson should have done better with Chris Wood's header? I thought he should have saved it.
It was a bit tough on him, really.
Yeah.
He might have done a little bit better, but
I thought he should have got a stronger hand on it. But
possibly,
he done an Onana on it.
Yeah. And in fairness, the amount of goals Wood is going to get now with Ward-Prowse coming in. He's going to get so many assists, Ward-Prowse as well.
Delivery into the box. Absolutely.
What
his corner, I know everyone that was on about his free kicks, and his corners are just as dangerous.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, you've spoke about him a good bit in the past, haven't you?
Ward-Prowse, absolutely. Yeah. Listen, he was available not this summer, last summer.
Before he went to West Ham, yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't against Liverpool going in and buying him at the time.
Either was I.
Yeah.
I wanted United to go in for him. Ted didn't. Ted thinks he was a big fish in a small pond at Southampton. He didn't think some of his game was up to it. I think he's fully at it. He is top drawer.
Yeah, absolutely. So next up, we round out then the 5:30 was West Ham 1, Man City 3. Haaland, absolute machine. Ruben Diaz with the OG to make it 1-1 for West Ham on 19. Then Haaland, I don't know if you've seen Haaland's second goal, lads. The way he pulled the trigger on that was in the
Yeah,
back of the net before it even left his foot,
yeah.
actually. Was unbelievable. And then rounding out with a third one. Yeah, we have him up there in the corner with the ball. I'm sure he's going to pick up a good few balls this season by the looks of things.
That's
That's
2
8
in
for
3
City.
weeks, isn't it?
2 and 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
League.
That's 8 for City, or 11 for City, 8 in the league or something.
Jesus Christ, that's unreal, isn't it?
Mm.
But I mean, like, he's playing.
It's
He's a clinical finisher, and everyone knows it. He's playing a team that are going to create him 20 chances every game. Like,
Yeah. Niall was in the team and Benilde's like that as well.
Yeah.
Weren't you goes up top?
I was the Haaland.
they like, I'm not
I played in
surprised that he's
goals.
scoring. I'm not surprised he's scoring that many.
And
But
here, Greg, I
the
was.
manner of it
I
is
don't know
just
about
nuts.
you, man. I thought 15 million was extortionate for him in the fancy, and I didn't put him in the first week. And then I said, here, I have to do it. Like, he scored against Chelsea, I think it was first game, and I put him in back.
I didn't. I still don't have him in.
I didn't.
Nope. But I still matched him with my captain this
There you
week.
go.
I had Salah as captain.
Very good. Yeah, I'd Salah in my team as well.
Jeez, you must have fucking nobody if you have the two of them. That's half your fucking transfer budget gone.
I was in my midfield. There's Song, Garnacho, Smith Rowe, and Salah.
Nice.
So it's not too bad. I was half thinking about putting Garnacho out after the international break because he hadn't been starting. So
Nah, I'd leave him there now.
yeah, I'd say he will from now on. You know.
No, yeah, Haaland's just a different animal.
Surely, like surely at 15 million, like you have to put him in, don't you? Really, like it's just he's.
That's what. Yeah, no,
I
was just thinking it was too much, and then after week 1, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna squeeze him in somehow, you know. And I did have Watkins. I got rid of Watkins straight away because I just knew he just didn't look sharp enough, you know.
Yeah.
What's the stat I seen the other day? Was it 69 goals in 63 Premier League games or something?
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Disgusting. He's doing what Ronaldo done at Real Madrid when he first went.
Yeah. Very impressive. Right, let's get into Sunday then, and we start off Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 1. Really good goal by SA to equalise, but the amount of chances Chelsea missed, lads. Good Lord.
Shocking.
I didn't see this game actually.
Shocking, man.
They missed a bunch of chances.
Jackson in particular as well. He could have killed the game off. And I don't know what you think, lads. I don't think Enzo and Caicedo play together. They don't play well enough for me together, like, you know.
Well,
I think
what is it, $250 million for the two of them?
Yeah. Ridiculous, like. And you're looking at it, for me, I was watching Enzo. He slows down Chelsea's attacks. You know, defensively, he doesn't cover. And yeah, it doesn't work in the middle for me. I don't know what the lads think in the chat, but for me, it's something I noticed there when I was watching it, you know.
It's a combative midfield, really, isn't it? That's all that is. Like, the two of them are near enough the same kind of player.
Absolutely.
I still think Caicedo is probably one of the bigger flops that we've seen. He's starting to play well-ish, but for 115 million, you'd want to have to come in straight away last year and do it.
Absolutely. I think he 2 good games at the end of the season and scored maybe the last game of the season or something like that, and everyone was buzzing about him, but no, he hasn't worked out for me.
I think Enzo is just there. He's just an engine. That's all it is. But we'll think differently, and we'll hear about it in the group chat, no doubt. But
yeah, I think with Chelsea this season, a lot of people have been saying it as well. You're going to get 1 week where they look amazing and they score 5 or 6 goals and everything. Yeah, like last week. Yeah. And then this week you come at the bridge and you're against Crystal Palace and you're thinking, this should be a 3-pointer for Chelsea, really. And they just stumble on it for one reason or another. Like, they'd 7 shots on target and only 1 goal.
I would have never thought that would have been a handy 3 points for Chelsea, especially the way Palace had played under Glasner.
No, not necessarily handy, but I would expect Chelsea to beat Palace at the bridge.
I don't expect Chelsea to beat anybody, really, to an extent. Same way I don't think United are capable of just beating anybody.
Yeah, but I mean, they're coming off the back of it, like 6 goals the week before. And
That was a big,
yeah.
that was a collapse as well from Wolves. Yes, they played well, but Wolves just once they conceded that third goal, just gave up.
Yeah, but they took
when you
the
get that
goals.
type
The goals were lovely as well. Like,
Oh, they were
no,
absolutely, and Cole
they were
Palmer
really good
absolutely
team
ripped them
goals.
asunder.
Yeah, no, I know where you're coming from, Noel. Absolutely. Like, if you win 6-2 away to Wolves, you want to build on that, especially at home to Palace. I know how Palace have been playing well and all, but obviously with that, the confidence is sky high. But it looked like they were just starting from scratch again on Sunday afternoon, like, you know. And
yeah,
I think with Europe, there's a lot. Obviously, they're playing a lot of games in Europe going to be coming up after the international break now as well. So, listen, they have strength and depth, but you need quality as well.
Shamrock
Yeah,
Rovers.
I text you
Poor
about that.
Aldino
Yeah.
was devastated that it was an away game for Rovers. Would have been nice for him to get to see Chelsea in Dublin, like.
Yeah.
But a fair play to Rovers. It's a good draw for them as well, to be fair.
Very good. And in fairness,
That,
for their
that,
fans, I
that
think they
probably
got
wouldn't be an expensive game to go to anyway. The Rovers game,
no.
we'd imagine.
And you look at I think they've learned as well, and you know that is it TNS or T something
Yeah, the
in
Welsh
North
team.
Wales.
Yeah.
North
The New
Wales as well.
Saints.
So yes, that's it. So yeah, they've some good little toys there, especially for the fans for the away trips as well. So
They could get a couple of points out of it too, to be fair to them.
they definitely. Like you could take points off the Welsh team and learn and stuff like that. And I think are they away to
Quarabag, is it?
Yeah, something
Someone
like that, isn't it?
Somewhere, someone Middle Eastern.
And in fairness, they're gonna throw everything in at it because they know they can't do anything in the league. They're too far behind. Like I know they have a game in hand, but I think they're 7th or 8th now in the league as well. So they know that's gone. It's between kind of Shells and Derry at the minute, so they'll throw everything at Europe.
I didn't even know the Irish League had started.
Come on out of that, Greg, will you?
You know, watch our shows, no?
Did you not see Damien Duff celebrating and winning the half-7? Did you see that video?
7 in the morning.
He is some boy, I tell you.
Yeah, good Lord.
He's a good lad, that lad. He likes the old booze, doesn't he?
He certainly does.
Did you see that video, Greg? Yeah.
No.
I'll send it on to him later. Greg, this is 7:30 in the morning.
Oh, is this the one after they qualified? Was it?
No, this was just the weekend gone.
Oh,
Banjoed walking along.
right job.
Yeah,
Right job.
Absolutely.
Fair play to
him. Next up, Newcastle 2, Tottenham 1. Tottenham with an indifferent start to the season for sure. Harvey Barnes with a lovely goal to open the scoring. An OG from Dan Burn. I don't think he could avoid it, basically. It was in the back of the net nearly anyway.
Yeah.
It was kind of harsh, actually, calls an OG for Dan Burn, to be honest. But then Alexander Isaac breaking the lines.
Great ball by Joe Linton, wasn't it?
Yeah. What do you make of Tottenham playing this like beyond high line?
This was a game of two halves, though. Really, I watched this game instead. I instead of the Chelsea game. I watched this and I thought Newcastle were very, very good in the first half, and then it was just like they just stopped, and Spurs just kicked in, and I was like, once Spurs got level, I was like, oh, Spurs are going to kick on here and win this 3-4-1, and then it just wasn't. They're really missing an out-and-out number 9, those Spurs, aren't they?
Big time. And from a Newcastle point of view, it was good to see Barnes start as well.
Yeah, I was surprised with him starting, to be honest. I think he's a decent player.
Yeah. Hitman Gordon, I thought, done very well.
Yeah, well, Gordon's just an animal for them, isn't he? He looks a completely different player than he was at Everton.
Big time. Has he been linked with Liverpool as well over the summer?
He was, yeah. He was linked right up till the last day.
They nearly had a deal done, actually. They nearly had a deal done.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Remember the abuse he got when he left Everton? Imagine the abuse he would have got going to Liverpool.
They had a deal nearly done for 30 million and Joe Gomez.
That would have been a solid deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you, Joe Gomez would be a very good signing for Eddie Howe with his versatility and all. So then we move on then. Yeah. He hasn't been too bad recently, in fairness. He's
I mean Newcastle's defenders in general.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So then we move on to the Super Sunday. Man United 0, Liverpool 3. Trent having a goal ruled out from VAR. Luis Diaz sublime for both his goals. And then Mo Salah, of course, getting the goal that he tends to always get at Old Trafford, if you like. Greg, you take it first. And now Marky's trying to avoid it. But
I was watching the Fair City Omnibus yesterday. I didn't see it. Didn't see any of it.
I was on
Might have been-
I was on a Ryanair flight feeling like a sardine.
I quite enjoyed the opening 20 minutes. I thought United were by far the better team the opening 20 minutes. And then the disallowed goal goes in, and it was like the whole stuffing just came out of United. It was like everything just went. They were like, oh no. They just abandoned every single thing they were doing, which was great. The high press, there was tackles going in. Now, Casemiro in the first half an hour gave the ball away 10 times before the goal. The pass that he gave for that fucking first goal, like it was a no-look pass into someone that wasn't even ready for the ball. And they got caught in the break. And I thought Liverpool, if that's what they were going with, and it looks like that way because they've done it for all 3 goals, they were waiting to catch United out of possession and go at them when the fullbacks were high up. Was a piece of genius from whoever set it up, whether it be the manager or one of the coaches that spotted it. But each time it happened, I think the first pass from Casemiro was dreadful. And everyone was like, oh, they should have closed the ball down before Salah crossed it. I think it was just too quick and too good. The crossover was brilliant. I'm surprised it wasn't ruled out for offside, to be honest, because obviously it came across Szoboszlai, who you could argue was probably interfering with play. Not that the keeper was going to get there, but you've seen them disallowed for things like that. The second goal was just a phenomenal, tidy finish. Again, Casemiro just too weak in the middle of the park, and looking for a free kick was a joke. If I was Ten Hag, I'd have taken him off right there and then. I'd have been like, get off my pitch, you're done. And then Mainu does the same thing for the third goal.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Diaz won the ball back off Casemiro for the second one, didn't he?
Yeah.
Was it Diaz? Yeah. He did a great game. That was some finish into the corner. Like,
that's just the more I say it to the lads, the other in the other group chat, I says one of the better finishes you'll see all season. On falling backwards as well to bend it out that way, brilliant.
And it could have been 4-5 now. Szoboszlai should have scored in the second half. Everyone was kind of waiting for him to pull the trigger, and he didn't. Obviously he's had a penalty shout as well. I didn't think it was, but
I thought it was a penalty.
Did you?
I thought it was a penalty. Yeah, he catches him. He does catch him.
But yeah, I don't know. See, it was like his leg comes out and he kind of hits off the back of him, and then
there's still contact there, though. You know what I mean? I thought it was a penalty.
I just thought there was minimal contact, but listen, it wasn't a great, like Greg rightly said there. First 20 minutes, we were optimistic, we were playing well, but like the win against Fulham, we didn't play great, and I thought we'll turn it around against Brighton. Didn't show up, didn't play great. I think we were missing a vocal point in the first half.
We were decent against Brighton.
First half we were missing that focal point up front, I think, Greg, that sort of way. And then Xerxes came on, obviously.
Let's be honest, like if Garnacho's goal goes in, United went on to win that game 3-4-1.
I know,
people are blaming Xerxes on it for that Brighton goal. I still think that's Garnacho's fault. If you see him sliding in, you've got to put that high into the net and not give that chance.
No, absolutely. Listen, it's not. Xerxes was obviously sliding in. His momentum took him in. It just hits off him. It's unlucky, But I just thought, against Liverpool, your arch rivals, we all
get up for it.
Still living off Paddy's Day, the FA Cup win and stuff. And we know how dominant you have been against us over the years, particularly the last few years. But with Slott's first game against us and stuff, I was a bit optimistic. And like Greg was saying there, first few minutes we done well, but after that, like Greg said, rightly so as well, that when that goal was disallowed, it took the stuffing out of us, and we just never looked. We had no shape. We didn't look like we were going to get back into the game at all, if I'm being honest,
Yeah, Philip saying, I thought United was shocking yesterday. What the fuck is Eric Ten Hag doing picking Rashford all the time? Casemiro was spent, and Bruno Fernandes is getting back to throwing his straps. Onana is a liability in goal.
I actually didn't think Onana was at fault for any of them goals, to be honest. They were all way out of reach.
I think it's his position.
For Salah's one, I think he should have been further over to the left. There's a big gap there.
I mean, how quick the shot came in from getting it to him. Do you know what I mean?
But the pass to Salah literally took an age. If you go back and look at the pass, It took its time going to Salah. It wasn't whipped into him like
something that Philip said there about Rashford. Now, I don't know how true or not this is, because we were on the bus a few weeks ago after the Legends game, and they're all having a bit of banter. Brian McClare was on a mad one. He was slagging Danny Simpson for some boxing fight he was doing, and he was talking about Danny Webber and, you know, how William Prunier and this, that, and the other. But someone said about Rashford, and he said, now, again, because you know Brian McClare, he's a bit witty, dry humour. He said that Rashford has it in his contract that he can't be dropped. Now, I don't know if he's taking the piss.
said that in the group chat the other day as well. It must be something in his contract. It can't be. There's no chance that can be a contract.
That's what Brian McClare said, because he was talking to Chris Eagles and Clay. They were all there. But with Brian, you don't know whether he's taking the piss or not. But then I was thinking about it. Could there be something to it, like, you know? Because he's been shocking. Like, realistically, to get Garnacho in, I would have dropped Rashford and started Diallo.
That should have been the change.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm thinking, what is going on there? Like,
and I mean,
I sent into the chat today, Greg, that video I sent you in the chat today, how good Rashford used to be. Where is that Rashford gone? It's incredible, the drop off.
I couldn't tell you where it's gone, and I couldn't care less where it's gone. I couldn't care less where he goes. He just needs to fuck off out of the club. I've been saying it, even when he had that good season, it was great with all the goals that he got. But he needs to go. Like, simple as that. He's not going to renew his career at United. It's simple as that. He's dead and buried at United.
Obviously, when he came into the team, he was young. He no fear. He knew where, you know, Van Gaal wanted him to play. He scored the 2 goals on the Thursday in Europe. Then he got a few against Arsenal on the Sunday. But then, as his confidence grew and his name and his stature grew, yeah, exactly. Like, he started wanting to pick what position he was playing. Obviously, he wanted to play from the left, like, and you're looking at it going, like, he's not good enough to be able to try to tell the manager where he wants to play. Like, just go out and do a bleeding job. I said it before. I think if I was Ten Hag, I'd throw him into 23s for a few weeks. Bring him back down to earth, like, do you know what I mean?
Throw him to fucking Bray Wanderers on loan.
Yeah, but play those little scrappy games in the 20s. Now, they're decent quality games, obviously, you're taking the piss there, but put him back to the 23s. Try to make him fall in love with football again, but make him try to fall in love with Man United, because he looks just so fed up. Now, I had this conversation with Dad before. Berbatov always used to look slow and fed up on the pitch, but he has something like magical in him, you know, and he did actually love playing for United, where Rashford doesn't look like he's enjoying himself at all.
Yeah, Rashford has no interest whatsoever. It's like, he's like, I lost Pogba, I lost Lingard, I lost Sancho, all my mates are gone, Greenwood's gone. Now I'm the only one here, and I'm just being a stroppy, mopey cunt. Just fuck off, pal.
And all I wanted was Sterling to come in, and you just couldn't even do that.
Yeah. Good luck to that.
And like I said it to you off air last season, because obviously he had a few issues off the pitch, which I found out about. But you can't justify what's happening, and like that was months ago. You know, he needs to start focusing. But like I said, I think the kicking arse he needs, he has to be dropped, and you know, Ten Hag has to be the bigger man and do it. Like, you know, like I said, you've Diallo and Garnacho that would run up and down all day long for you and do a job, and he's not even doing that. Like,
yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know if you caught it after the game. Did you listen to Arne Slot after the game? His breakdown tactically of how he prepared for the game against United, and it was unbelievable. If you get it, go and have a look at it. If you see it on YouTube or something like that, he absolutely broke down every element of Ten Hag's game plan, and he had a tactical answer for every bit of it, and he spat it out in like 2 minutes. It was unbelievable to listen to. It was unbelievable.
I tried to watch a bit of the after of it, but I couldn't hack watching Daniel Sturridge, man. What the hell?
Even Kane. Did you see when Salah came out for the interview with no boots on?
God,
and he looks at Kane, he says to Kane, should I be standing that close to right Kane?
Yeah.
Go and stamp on his foot or something like that, you know, and all.
But,
it was good.
Yeah, no, it didn't. But fair play to Slot, like, he's coming in. We had this conversation of, you know, will the Liverpool fans give him time and this, that, and the other, but he's fitting in so well, and he has an identity there already. And what you said about the training, you know, no lad is bigger than the club, no player is bigger than the club, and he has everyone working extra hard and stuff. So, you know, fair play to him for coming in. It's big shoes to fill, and he's doing a great job so far.
I think he certainly brought an element of control to the way Liverpool used to be. They're starting to get on the ball more rather than 3 passes to the attack. It's now 4 or 5, but it's still the same kind of dangerous attack that goes. I think people are more, they're on the ball in midfield more. Obviously, like even under Klopp, anytime under Klopp, Liverpool's midfield hasn't been great. Like, let's be honest, when you had Henderson, Thiago, and whatever, now they're looking more and more dynamic, and they look like they're going to be able to chip in with goals. Obviously, they didn't get a whole lot last year. But I think that new midfield, and Gravenberch looks like a different animal now. Well, he looks like 35 million that you spent on him.
It looks like because we couldn't get the 6 in, we've decided we'll forget about the 6. We'll just play them like 2 8s. Don't bother with the 6 at all.
Just hope for the best.
Play the 2 with a bit of pivot.
And it's working. It's working, lads.
Now, I was going into the match, I was concerned because I thought this would be kind of a little bit of an acid test for Gravenberch in midfield, because obviously we played Ipswich and we had played Brentford where he looked really well in both games. Kind of one half of each both games, if you like. But he looked really good in pre-season as well, playing in that role as well. So I thought the United one would be an acid test in there with Casemiro, Mainu, obviously Bruno dropping in there at times as well and all and stuff. I thought that would be a good test for him, but it was easy work for him. And the way it's not only even the way he's adjusted into that, it's the way he's moving forward and picking passes, and it looks like the way I describe it at the moment is the way they're operating in these units and these little triangles and all. There's always a player available. There's never not a player available for a pass. There's no anxiety on the ball. Everything seems pretty planned and pretty meticulous with Slot. Nothing's left a chance. I think everyone goes out onto the pitch, knows exactly the level that's expected of them now and what they're supposed to deliver and what their role in the team is and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think he said it himself, I think in the press conference afterward when they were talking about players and stuff, and he goes, well, I'm not a romantic. So he made it very clear there's no romance about this. This is elite football at the very high end and stuff like that. And that's the way he kind of approaches it and stuff like that. And I kind of like that as well because, one of the criticisms of Klopp was that he got too close to the players and the relationships, and it became very kind of personal and all that kind of stuff. I think with Slot, where he'll be very concise in his approach to you. He might not be the guy who throws an arm around you. What I mean? He's the kind of guy who'll be very clear, and if you're not performing, it'll be very clear that he'll take you out of that as well. I think also looking at it as well, and I spoke to Darren about this morning as well, I think he's going to operate with quite a small squad. I don't think he's going to, I think he's going to be in around the 20 or maybe a little bit under. I don't think he'll make many changes unless there's injuries or unless he's forced to do it. Or like you seen yesterday, where if a game is done with about 20 minutes to go, he'll throw on Costas, he'll throw on players and stuff, but not really making changes. It's more about being careful with maybe the likes of Jota's fitness and stuff like that and all more so.
He looked out of it yesterday. He didn't look like himself yesterday, I didn't think.
Yeah, I think it was just... it might have been just the speed in which the game moved and stuff like that. No, but the thing that you'll find with him as well is he's always making those moves to create that space as well, because you're going to pull 2 players with you, even when he makes movement and stuff like that. And that's why you see how easy it is for the likes of Diaz to receive the ball in the box now, because Jota's doing that other work that you don't see because you're so focused on the movement of the ball. Looks really, really impressive. It's a great start to the season and long may it continue. No goals conceded, 9 points, joint top of the league, if you like, with City. So what else? We can't ask for any more than that. It doesn't look like at the moment, touch wood, that there's going to be this Klopp drop-off, which I don't think was going to be huge anyway, because he had inherited a very good squad from Jurgen Klopp as well that just needed a few pieces to be fixed in it.
I think the big moment will be when they lose their first game.
Yeah,
how they react.
Yeah,
like absolutely. If they go, just say they were playing City next and City give them a hiding, how they come back from that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What did you make of Mo's comments yesterday talking about it's his final season because obviously the club haven't approached them? Is this him forcing the club to make an approach and do something now and
100%
kind of thing? And it's weird. It's weird that they wouldn't now. Listen, they might make an approach anyway, but look, you're not going to match the Saudi money. So if it's financially driven, the game is over anyway. So it doesn't matter, So it's... But we shall see, you know.
I think Dino said it right in the group chat that it's 35 million. He owes you absolutely fucking nothing. So if he leaves on a free, he leaves on a free. Do you know what I mean?
I think Carragher's point was a good one when Carragher said that he keeps himself so healthy and so well. He can play to 37, 38, 39, even 40. Now, maybe not at that elite Premier League level.
He won't be at that level.
But you know, I mean, if he could sign, say, another 3 years, 36, surely he'd want to play in the Premier League before heading off to Saudi. The Saudi move will still be there.
Once his pace starts to go, though, he's going to be in trouble. Do you know what I mean? His electric pace is what gets him a lot of his goals, breaking the line around the back of the defender or off the shoulder. Like I know you see it sometimes, but more so it's him running in behind or coming off the back post. But like you don't see him beat 2 or 3 players and score goals an awful lot.
No, not an awful lot, but you will see that. You will see somewhat some of that movement there that opens up the space. He does love that left peg into the.
Or you'll see him move into the middle.
Yeah, Philip's saying the same thing here as well. He's just playing the game. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, too right.
Liverpool, Real Madrid in November. Really looking forward to that. Can't wait.
Another broken shoulder for him.
I doubt that. Ramos isn't there anymore.
Someone will be.
Speaking of broken shoulders, Mbappe finally off the mark in La Liga, 2 goals last night.
Yeah, I was watching it against Betis, Peno. He got a Peno, another goal.
Yeah,
he'll be top goal scorer in that league. Handy,
definitely.
Question for you is obviously coming out of this game. Where do you stand at the moment with Ten Hag and how your transfer window went?
I stand where I stood at the end of last season. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, and the lads were all like, "Oh yeah, look at the style of play that he had in the FA Cup final when he had a full team. Yeah, it was great winning the cup final." And now we're back to the same junk with a full team. Same junk, same crap. No consistency, no style. The game yesterday didn't entirely fall on him because of 3 individual errors, but he still has to make changes when he's seen it happening. Like we could see the first goal, and you could see we were going to concede the second before halftime. Didn't do anything to change it. Didn't nothing. Left, as I said, I either whipped Casemiro off as soon as that second mistake happened. He let him go till halftime, and then our young Collier came on, and he looked pretty decent in midfield. But like Ten Hag's comments afterwards that Ugarte's in, and it might take him a few weeks or a few months to be ready to play. Will you get a fucking grip? You won't be here in a few months.
What the hell?
Yeah.
The sooner the better he goes.
Greg, you know yourself, after the international break, we've Southampton away, Palace away, Spurs at home, and Villa away. Like
that's before the next break, isn't it?
Yeah, that's before the next international break.
If he doesn't win 3 of the 4 of them, or if he loses 3 of them, he's gone.
Okay, how much? I think the Southampton one's the early kickoff, isn't it?
The early kickoff,
Saturday week half 12, I think it is.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet Southampton get their first 3 points of the season on that Saturday?
If I was Ineos and we lost to Southampton at that early kickoff, he wouldn't even be getting back on the bus. He'd been gone. Because Carragher, I don't normally agree with Carragher when he talks absolute junk, but he's saying the point there that United weren't fully committed to him. They were shopped around Europe, couldn't find anybody, so they decided to stick with him. I said to you, once he got the year extension, they're not fully committed to it. They are more holding on hope, and the first sign of trouble, he's going to be out the door. And
yeah, the real commitment would be if it's a 3 or 4 year contract. Yeah, the fact that they have the year,
he will. Carragher, Neville said he'll get till Christmas. I think if he loses 2 or 3 more games in the next 8 games, he's out the door.
Yeah, I said the same. I said 2 weeks ago on here, Greg. I said the same. I said he'll have to Christmas or January, and then I think Van Nistelrooy will come in as intern till the end of the season. Then
out the door.
I said it earlier, even before the season started, that lad is sitting back there like the Grim Reaper waiting, isn't he? You could see it in him, like you could see it's coming and all.
He's doing everything. He's running the training sessions and everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's doing everything. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, don't mean to name drop. Yap Stan was telling me when we were down to Clayton about it as well, and Yap, from talking to him, I got the vibe that he's not a Ten Hag fan at all. He was telling me a few things, and he likes Van Nistelrooy and his coaching, what he's saying with Feyenoord and stuff.
I watched a lot of the preseason stuff, and I was watching the open training sessions and stuff. But like he had them running the same drill for like 3 or 4 hours just to make sure they got it right, just over and over to make sure they had the style of play. So that's coming from him now. But like surely that should be the manager doing it.
Yeah.
So like, what the fuck is Ten Hag doing? Sitting shining his head in the ball out shino?
Yeah, his post match reaction yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it as well when the journalists started grilling him.
It was defiant.
He looked really uncomfortable, really uncomfortable with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, we're Man United. We've won loads of trophies. How dare you ask me this kind of thing? They're going,
yeah, we're second to City. That doesn't mean that you're fucking 50 odd points off City.
Yeah.
Get a fucking grip. Like, you won 2 cups. That's great being it. And Roy Keane said it about, you can't be a cup team if you're Man United. You can't. Yeah. You have to be challenging consistently. You can be a good cup team. That's fine. But if you're not consistent in the league, you're not going to keep your job long. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Marky, give us a breakdown. Ref watch. What did you see at the weekend? What did you?
Well, obviously the big talking point was Declan Rice's second yellow, which obviously led to the red card. Obviously I can see the referee is obviously gone by the letter of the law. For me, I watched it. I was with obviously Craig and Dano on Saturday, or chatting to me 2 brother-in-laws, Arsenal fans. Like, if I'm out there, it's like I said, the 56th minute, he's delaying the start of play. But in a normal situation, if it's say the 90th minute, Arsenal are winning 1-0, whatever it is, and he does that, absolutely, I'm in my right to do it. Send them off. But I just thought it was a little harsh, obviously, given the fact it was the 56th minute. It wasn't. Now listen, Declan Rice shouldn't be asking the question of the referee anyway. You know, that type of way. He should know. He's a professional.
Not on a yellow. Not on a yellow.
Like, in that situation as well, you'd go over and say, listen, Declan, this is a warning. You're on a yellow card. Anything like that again, it's a second yellow, you're off. Usually what you might say, Arteta mightn't have done it, but if that is the case, and say you just give him a warning and Arteta's looking at it going, right, he needs to get taken off before he's sent off. But obviously it didn't happen. And I think it was Chris Kavanagh, wasn't it? Was it Kavanagh?
Yeah.
Obviously he's gone by the letter of the law, which it is a caution for delaying the restart of a game. So by the letter of the law, it was the right call. But just common sense that sometimes, like I said, I would have probably dealt with it differently.
Yeah, I think listen to it today, Greg, as well. They were talking about, like, obviously the PGMOL issued a warning about this at the start of the season to all the clubs as well. So it is a high-end topic. But I think I was listening to Dermot Gallagher today on Ref Watch as well on Sky, and he made the point is, by the letter of the law, he got sent off, and that's the only way referees should deal with it, that they shouldn't necessarily at times be using common sense, because if you start using common sense, you're just kind of creating new rules yourself a little bit as you go along, and it's all a little bit individualistic.
But then, cause at the same time, if you're going to be consistent, and we all talk about consistency, you're going to have to caution every player that nudges a ball, or, listen, it wasn't booted into the stands or anything, he kind of flicks it, but you're going to have to caution every player, and you're setting precedents then, and you have to follow up with that, and it can be tough at times.
Absolutely, but I think when you go back and you look at the actual Declan Rice thing, there was a little bit of shithousery in the way he kicked the ball away as well. You know what I mean? So, like, it was,
Put it this way, lads, right? He doesn't kick the ball far, right? He flicks it away. That's fine. I know Pedro, the Arsenal fans aren't happy that Pedro got away with one in the first half where he booted the ball away. But Declan Rice stops a quick free kick being taken, right? Now, I'm fully aware the defender knows exactly what he's doing. And when he's doing it, he's going to kick it away. But if Declan Rice didn't flick that ball away and stood no more than 10 yards away from the ball and the ball hits him, it's a yellow card anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
There's no difference. I think it was a red card. I think it was the correct call from the referee. I think they showed a lot of balls to do it.
I think the issue they were saying as well, that if Veltman...
The ball was rolling.
The ball was rolling, so it would have had to go back anyway.
But I would just think, at times, as a referee, you have to read the whole situation. The Brighton free kick is right in their own basically near their own corner flag. It's in the 56th minute. You know, there's still a lot of time to be played. And like I said, it's not as if he built it 20, 30 yards. It's a little. That's when I know. Listen, I knew exactly. I didn't see ref watch, but I knew exactly what Dermot Gallagher would say about it. But yeah, there are times you have to read a situation and possibly use common sense. Like I said, it's not in the 90th minute that he's stopping. You know, the restart of the game. We've had that in underage, in under 18, 19 semi-finals and stuff like that. And sorry, just looking at Salford there, playing there. So yeah, you have to, like I said, if he does it, Chris Kavanagh does it now, everyone's going to be looking to get players caution now over the next few weeks after the international break.
And this is what will happen, will it? And it'll go for about a month, and then it'll go back to the way it was.
That's it. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah. And people are, oh, what about consistency? You're never going to get it.
The question is, right? You're saying that, but does Chris Kavanagh get commended for following the rules properly then?
Yeah, no, he will. Like, obviously, in every Premier League game, he has an assessor. There's a Premier League referee assessing him, and he'll go down after. And obviously, it's like when it happens to us at schoolboy football as well. You'll sit in the change room with the assessor. He'll have all his notes written down. He'll say, right, in the 20th minute, you didn't give a yellow card for that foul. Why was that? Such and such. Then you gave a yellow card. So why? So you have to explain everything. So yeah, from that point of view, 10 out of 10 for what he done, because he is applying the letter of the law to that situation. So you can't fault him for that. But just at times, like I said, there is times where you look at it and go, right, it's possibly a bit harsh, you know.
If it was anybody else but Rice, you wouldn't be talking about it. No, we would be, because it's ref watch. It's probably the most contentious decision of the weekend.
Yeah, there was. That's it. There was a few.
Yeah, I don't think any of us here on the panel have any issue with Declan Rice per se as a player. If anything, I would expect Declan Rice to have more cop on, you know, in terms of that, and especially the fact that
he made the referee make a decision.
Yeah.
And he thought he was being smart as well. He knew he was going to get booed in the process.
Yeah. So he enticed the brilliant player to get a caution at the same time as himself, like.
But he made the referee make the decision. The referee made the decision by the letter of the law. He had to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, like, as I said a few minutes ago, like if the Brighton player actually kicks the ball and hits Rice and he's not 10 yards away, he gets a card for stopping it anyway. So,
although we've seen this season when players do that, the player taking the free kick now gets carded. Remember we seen that, Marky, a few weeks ago and again?
Yeah.
Who was it? One of the players was a Palace or someone like that. He kicked the ball against the player. And he got carded over. I can't remember.
He went mad at the referee over it, didn't he? That's why he got booked for talking to the referee, because he's not the captain.
Yeah.
But like,
it was Palace, wasn't it? Sorry, I was trying to think there. Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
But
I think it was the right decision, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, but I thought it was a little harsh. But obviously, if you're reading the laws of the game, you have to apply some.
Would it have been harsh if he wasn't on a yellow card, right? And he does it and he gets booked for it?
For a first caution, I would have said.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
But that's what I'm saying.
He's making the point. He wouldn't have cautioned him even for the first.
You wouldn't have booked him.
No.
No, absolutely. So what's the difference? So would you have booked him if he booted the ball away?
Yeah, like I said, you read a situation. There's different times. You have to look at the whole scenario. Like I said, it's back at Brighton's corner flag. It's the 56th minute. It's 1-0. There's still plenty of time to play. It's
and
not as if
the whole of Arsenal are standing with their back to the ball, and you've got João Pedro on the halfway line ready to run. Of course, you're going to try and take it quickly.
But then again, here's the other thing: the ball was rolling, so even if he plays it, the referee's going to call it back for the free kick to be retaken anyway.
You're always going to try and get the advantage anyway.
Oh, I know, but he wouldn't have got it. Even if João Pedro was standing there and the ball went up to him, the referee's going to put it back anyway because it was a rolling ball.
Yeah, but you try it. You have to try it anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
that ball could have stopped. No. That ball could have stopped by the time that Lewis Dunk took the 3 steps to it.
Yeah, no, listen, absolutely. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Anything could have happened, but like I said, it would have been called back anyway for the rolling ball.
Yeah. It's the age old argument, isn't it? Like when they don't give a penalty, but anywhere else on the pitch, it's a free kick. You
Yeah.
know, we talk about it every week.
And this is where I laugh all the time when football fans look for consistency. Like there's 3 of us here and lads in the group chat, and it's all different. And you go into any referee room and you put up that scenario, and it would split the room.
But the fact that there's a high level directive there from the start of the season by the PGMOL means that there shouldn't be any kind of
argument.
There shouldn't be any kind of lack of consistency in terms of that kind of situation. Because
Yeah,
if someone kicks the ball away, they should be booked. And if other referees are not applying the law, then they should be dragged in and asked, why aren't you applying? Now, we don't want players getting booked, and we don't want stupidity coming into the game.
And their simple answer would be back, in my opinion, this is the way I interpreted it. And you can't really say it. You know, it's all different opinions how they interpret the law. You might have a law in black and white, but it's whether you are interpreting it that way or not. You know, that sort of way. So,
but I think I think the Royce one was very clear. He kicked the ball away, so
Chris Cameron.
So by the letter of the law, it was sprang on.
Absolutely. Like I said, he would have got 10 out of 10 from the assessor for that decision. And
it just feels a bit weird because it's the first one we've had this season, is it? And it led to a red card, and it's Declan Rice, and he's now going to miss the North London Derby, which is huge. You know, so it's from that point of view as well. You know what I mean? But and I can feel the aggravation in the Arsenal fans as well, because if it was one of my players or one of the United players, you'd be pissed off as well. Like, but you kind of look at him and go,
you have to be pissed off with Declan Rice if you're an Arsenal fan as well for asking that question, putting himself in that situation as well.
Yeah.
So we seen it last year. Do you remember they brought in the whole back talk to the referee, the thing at the end of last season, and Dalot got sent off against Liverpool in the last couple of minutes for talking to the referee. He got booked, and then he was arguing his point about it and got booked again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like referees are starting to become, obviously they need to be more accountable for their own decisions and not let VAR do anything too much but like referees are starting to take action on them. So I think it was a good call. Now I do think he should have booked Pedro for lashing the ball away about 5 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
Mark, question for you just to know as well. If the referee doesn't take action there, does VAR intervene, or what way does it work?
No, because it's not a straight red card.
Okay, it's not a straight red.
Yeah.
But would VAR have intervened then for Lewis Dunk booting him?
For the initial, the kick.
So where he follows through and misses the ball.
It was Veltman.
Yeah, sorry, I got confused there when he said Dunk. Yeah, no, if they had it seen as violent conduct, the VAR could have had a word on Chris and say, listen, we think I don't think the assistant referee was on that side. I think he was on the far side.
On the other side, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, if say the assistant referee had been on it, he could have called them over. If not, VAR be in his ear and say, listen, Chris, we're after seeing violent conduct there. If you want to have a look at it, we think a possible red card, and he'd go over to the screen and have a look. And obviously, if he goes over to the screen and has a look, it's you know yourself, it's most likely going to be a straight red card.
Yeah. Or the screen might just say VAR on it and not move. We've seen that already.
I think once he carded Veltman as well, I don't think he had much of a choice anyway, did he?
Yeah.
Now, am I not wrong in saying though, right, that he should not have booked Veltman for that? Because the initial thing came from Rice. So do you remember when Van Dijk got his cruciate done by
Pickford?
Yeah. So he didn't book Pickford for the stupidly high scissor tackle because he was offside. So does that mean Veltman shouldn't have been booked?
Well, if I don't know where the whistle was blown, so if the whistle obviously for the restart of the game, and he kicks out, he has to be cautioned because the game is. But you can't listen. You saying it yourself, Greg. If there's an altercation and the game has been stopped, there's an altercation. You can book as many players, you can caution as many players as you want. You know, it doesn't have to be that. You know, the whistle doesn't have to be blown. So, he'd every right to give him a caution for the kick.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Anything else stood out this weekend, Marky?
Obviously, I don't know if you've seen the two handballs. Obviously, in the Forest and Wolves game, The funny thing about it is, though, obviously the first one isn't given against Wolves, and the second one isn't given. But Gary O'Neill goes mad. But they're both the same, you know. If you don't give one, you don't give the other. That is the consistency you want. But O'Neill, obviously, because Chris Wood has handled it, and I think it was 1-1 at that stage. He goes crazy. But yeah, no, I thought the referee did very well there, not giving the 2 penalties.
I think the whole handball directive has become a bit better this year. Obviously,
Yep.
Like if your
They've
hands are
tweaked
somewhat
it.
by your side, and now it's like this is a natural position if you're jumping or sliding.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They had to tweak it because we, you know, when you're doing the referees courses and they're like, right, lad, try jumping up and down without using your arms, and you're standing there going,
and you're running at pace.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be like, I was like, you look like a tick, but they make you do it. So you're on the referees course and you're jumping up and down like that, and you can't do it, like, you know. So they show you. Again, it's interpretation as well. They show you the natural and unnatural positions.
Yeah, like
in the
obviously you running out and having your arms like this probably isn't natural. But if you're sliding and you have your arms up,
exactly. So, but no, I just thought it was funny. Gary O'Neill thought the Wolves one should have been a penalty, even though it's the exact same as the one against them. And then obviously we had the incident in the Leicester game where the ball hits off the referee. But in fairness, if you look at the replay, the referee is blew the whistle very, very early. You know, even Vardy knows when he puts it in the
touch, like the touch sent it through the defender's legs.
Exactly.
And let Vardy in.
Exactly. So if it doesn't, who was it? Was it Tillemans that would have went and got the ball, I think, in the middle for Villa, and then it goes. I think it was. So listen, you can see Vardy puts it in, but he kind of turns around, and he smiles at the referee. He knew anyway, so it was.
You're better off putting it in the net and letting them make that decision. You know what I mean? Because you imagine he didn't put it in the net, and it turned out that it didn't actually touch the referee,
and it was okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So,
and we've seen that before as well, where you're not playing to the whistle.
Yeah. Now, if you're not, you're better off putting it in and asking a question of the officials rather than not. But no, I think again it was the right decision. The referee blew early enough as well. So, yeah, absolutely.
So, I don't think there was much wrong with the refs really this weekend for a change.
No, it was decent. Yeah, it was decent.
Fucking ref watch.
So, lads, do we get into our international preview now? Is it?
No, we certainly don't. We round out with a few transfers. What did you make of some of these, lads? Pick any ones you want, of course. I think we've the weird ones, of course, was Tony off the Saudi, you know, and it's maddening. And then, of course,
are you surprised with that one though?
Do you know? I am surprised considering Arsenal pivoted then to Sterling.
But see, I don't think Arsenal were ever really gonna go for him, to be honest. I know he somewhat talked to Chelsea, for 40 odd million. And then Chelsea decided they obviously wanted Aussie men, and neither of the deals happened. I'm not surprised that he ended up in Saudi because no one else seemed to be going for him.
But if you looking for $500,000 a week or something, wasn't he?
Yeah,
was he? Tell him to get fucked.
No, it wasn't that high, but it was
between 350 and 500.
It was about 300, I think. But the thing about it was that value would come down because Brentford at the start of the window, remember, valued them at about 70 or 80, and he come down to 40. And I would have thought maybe Arsenal would have took a punt on him at the 40 because
40 plus a pound.
Yeah, he's but I mean,
he's the type of player that they needed as well, but not for that money in terms of.
And wages. I was thinking, like, and I know obviously Sterling went in there on a kind of a whatever it is last couple minutes of the deadline and all and stuff like that. But I think I would have preferred to have Tony going into Arsenal than Sterling if I'm an Arsenal fan for sure.
That's, absolutely.
100%. That's 100%.
And then we spoke about the one earlier in the Premier League review, Armando Broja, on his way to Ipswich, deal done. Next thing, back to Fulham out of nowhere. Like, it was absolutely crazy.
I was shocked. I sent this into the group chat when it happened. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, he agreed the deal. Everything was done. He was going to Ipswich. And if they stayed up, they had to buy him for 30 million. And then I woke up the next morning to find out he went to Fulham. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, I heard he wasn't an Ed Sheeran fan.
Yeah, probably.
Hates the gingers, I heard.
Obviously, we don't have to
beard, Greg. That beard.
We don't have to dwell on Gundogan either. I mean, Gundogan going back to City, I think is, you know, even though I'm a Liverpool fan, stuff like that, that's kind of cool way for City to do things, isn't it? He'll lift things around.
The only way they could do it this summer.
I tell you, man.
And obviously for
Crazy.
Barca, they're getting them off the wages as well, so it kind of
He
worked.
was on a chunk over there, wasn't he?
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
worked well for
Yeah.
both parties. I think it was
Yeah.
a good move
Well,
for both.
they cancelled it, wouldn't they? They cancelled his contract.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
left what 12 million in wages over the next
Yeah.
3 years or whatever.
Have you ever seen clubs to act the way they've acted this summer in terms of isolating players, binning players off, get the hell out of here, you're not wanted anymore, just being
Money
absolutely ruthless.
merry-go-round.
But it's crazy the PSR and the FFP stuff, the way it's like clubs are under such pressure now. There's no
Yeah.
more. You can hang on for another year. It's get the hell out of here. You've no place
Yeah.
here anymore. Out. I don't care if you're here 20 years. Out. Doesn't matter.
Right to do it.
How do you think Sancho lads will fare out? Obviously, you've had first hand on him at Chelsea. Do you think he'll do good?
Couldn't give a bollocks. I hope he's the
Yeah.
same poisonous cunt he was at United, but he won't be. I think he'll be decent for Chelsea, to be honest.
I think he'd do well, and it's funny because if you look at it from a United point of view, it is a weird one to loan him out to a team that will be thereabouts around you and pushing for the same spots that you're pushing for. So I thought it was a bit weird in there, but obviously with him and Ten Hag,
He's better
the
gone.
relationship was strained, so strained. It was hanging by a string, and getting sent out to Dortmund last season, he didn't really set the Bundesliga on fire like he did the first time around for them as well. So I just think he's a bad attitude, and yeah, good luck to him.
Yeah, and 35 million back from when we paid 75 4 years ago, and he's done fuck all.
Yeah,
absolutely. You can fuck off to Chelsea and stay out there. Couldn't care less.
He said he supported Chelsea growing up or something. Did I read that?
Yeah. Shouldn't he say the same about United when he was coming in?
Like Robbie Keane all over again. It's my boyhood dream to sign for insert whatever team.
They all have those Photoshop Polaroids, don't they?
The one I sent to you is where he's saying he loved Enzo Maresca and stuff. He wasn't even at the club when Enzo Maresca was at City.
He would have left a good few years. Well, probably
he left 17 and Maresca came in 20.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
He's a fucking moron, that lad. He can fuck off. I'm delighted he's gone.
Top one there, Nico Williams. Are you surprised he didn't leave Bilbao? I think he's holding out for Barca, isn't he? And obviously the issues there with Dani Olmo being registered and stuff like that. Yeah. Barca obviously very tight money wise and stuff like that. Could you see him going there next summer, maybe?
No, I don't. I can't see him leaving Bilbao, to be honest. He seems like one like Zubamendi. He's just going to stay there.
Well, the talk is now that the Zubamendi deal might be back on again in January. That's the talk this evening. I don't know if you've seen any of that.
I haven't been thinking. Yeah. I was
apparently that's the talk now. Who knows? Liverpool may or may not go back in for him.
Yeah.
Would you go back in for someone that's legitimately turns you down to your face?
Well, he turned us down on the basis he wanted to stay at Sociedad.
Yeah, now, so if you go back in January, he's just turned around and said, I want to stay where I am. And then all of a sudden you're going back in January for the same player and he's all of a sudden willing to go.
Greg, if I thought I was within 3 points of Man City in January and bringing in Zubamendi might get me over the line, I'll welcome him with open arms and I'll send him pictures of Sociedad if he wants.
That's fair. That's fair, but
it's a different kind of dilemma. So, like I said it this year, if we had bought 2 players last January and we didn't, obviously because Klopp announced he's leaving, but if we'd have brought in 2 players, we might have done much better than what we did at the end of the season. There's no doubt.
I think Klopp announcing when he did was a joke, and it was terrible on his own behalf. Announcing it when he did, because it was always going to disrupt the season then.
I can see why he tried to do it, because he tried to use it as a motivation tool for the boys and stuff like that. So, but obviously it backfired and it didn't work. So, yeah, but I can see why he did it. And of course, you know yourself, you're going out after being there 7 or 8 years. You'll want to go out through this whole big drama festival, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So, but it's I could say is if we're there or thereabouts come January and we're in the shout I could see us going in and trying to do it again, and maybe he might look at it and think, right, I've actually seen. Maybe he looked at Liverpool and he thought, Slot's coming in, Klopp's gone, a lot of players coming in, a lot of players going out, a lot of players contracts up for renewal. It could be a very different looking Liverpool come January, come next summer.
Maybe.
Who knows? And maybe that might be the way to bring him in. But I wouldn't hold it against someone if they, from a homesickness point of view, they didn't want to move. He was offered 3 times the wage that he was on. They were offered the release clause or different payment structure if they wanted it. So it wasn't a financial thing. It was
No,
definitely that he just
absolutely, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like he turned it down. It's not like the club turned it down.
yeah.
So
What else is in there?
I think
What did you make?
Chiesa was a good deal. I know you don't agree, but I think it's a great deal. At 10 million up front, 2.5 in incentives.
Yeah, I have my reservations obviously on the injuries and stuff like that. I think if you look at it in isolation, I don't have a problem with it. My biggest fear with it is one, that he breaks down and we get an injury, or two. And I know it's not an awful lot of money, but the issue is not necessarily the money as it is having the players and the squad. You know what I mean? I don't care if he's 12 million or 40 million. It doesn't matter to me. It's not my money. But I mean, the issue really is that my fear is that if Salah doesn't re-sign and Salah decides to go, he's going to become Salah's replacement. And that to me then becomes a real problem.
But why would it be the problem then, right? You're going to lose Salah on a free, right? So you're saying you don't care that he's 12 million or he's 40 million, right? If he's coming in and doing a job and he ends up being Salah's replacement, what's the issue?
Well, the issue is he's not going to hit anything like Salah's heights.
But you're not going to sign it. You're not going to sign a winger that's going to do that.
No, but you can obviously go out into the market and you can sign a winger that gives you some sort of reassurance that it's going to be reasonably close. I know we're not going to replace Salah if he goes, and maybe we go in a different direction and a different style of play and stuff like that. But my biggest fear is they went out cheap as chips this year. 12.5 million for Chiesa comes in, and then he's the natural replacement for Salah, and that for me is not the case.
We done the same with Sancho. We bought him off. Was it 27 or 28 goal contributions in the season?
Yeah.
And he done fuck all, and we spent 75 million on him.
Anthony as well.
Well, I'm not even getting into that one. Just that Sancho's on the screen there. The other lad can fuck off back to Brazil or wherever. But like buying someone just for big value just to replace someone because they
I'm not talking. It's not necessarily big value. What I'm talking about is finding a guy who can come in and bridge that gap. What I believe would be more. I don't think Chiesa has a full season in him. I just don't think he has in the Premier League.
We've got 35 games to find out.
I think you're missing out on one big transfer that's not on the screen there.
Go on.
The man from On the Slab to the Monday mashup.
There you go.
Signed, sealed, and delivered.
No
mention of a medical. Just saying.
I've been on this a few years. I haven't had one yet.
Coffee yum-yums.
Yum-yums. Don't get me started, Greg.
I went in. My kids have never had them, right? And I went into Lidl on Saturday because the missus was out, and I was going to do a movie night with the kids, right? And they had no toffee yum-yums left, so I asked them, and they gave me a box of the frozen ones. 8 frozen ones in it, right?
Yeah.
So I brought them home, and she was like, just let them defrost for an hour or two. So I left them there. And I've still 3 in the freezer now for my breakfast on Wednesday.
Happy days.
I'm thinking they might be even as nice as an ice pop, are they? Leave them a little bit frozen, maybe.
I wouldn't try and bite through that fucking liquid toffee.
Like one of those Cola Calippo ice pops or something.
Do you remember
Is that why you killed the wasp with? You just threw a frozen yum-yum at it.
took out the book.
Yeah.
Boom. Absolutely. Took out all my frustration over Sunday.
Oh, stop.
Absolutely. Well, listen, lads. Go ahead, go on.
I was going to say, it doesn't help. I have Sky Sports News on in the background there, and that's all I've been showing for the last half an hour.
Nice. Well, if you think that's bad, the NFL starts back this weekend, and both the teams I support in football and NFL are both shite, so I'll be doubly depressed every weekend.
Who do you support in the NFL?
I'm a Broncos fan.
Broncos.
John Elway, huh?
What a man.
Yeah, I started watching a show last night on Notre Dame. Did you start watching it yet?
No.
It's on the
on
stick.
Netflix,
It's on one of them. It's about Notre Dame and all about it. It's really good. This new young coach they've brought in and stuff like that and all. It's fantastic. I watched. There's only 2 episodes out. It's really good.
Did you just watch the game in the Aviva there a few weeks ago?
No, but there's loads of people in.
Yeah, I was playing golf myself, so I was like, nah.
It's mad how popular it is. Town was packed.
Is it one that was one of the teams from Florida or something like that?
Florida State, yeah.
They on the Sunday morning I was in work and we looked down. The team were renting bikes. You know the bikes that city centre bikes, from Wolftown Square, and I was looking, going, junkies everywhere, and there's the Florida team just renting bikes out for all these junkies around them.
The Florida team wouldn't have to worry about any junkies down onto him. These are all big
Oh
boys.
no, Jesus, yeah, he's the size of them, man. Holy.
Do you know what? When you see big lads playing football, like remember Akinfenwa and stuff.
Yeah.
These lads, and these lads are only in college, so they're only 22, 23, even.
It's mad, isn't it?
You're talking 6'6", fucking 260 or something.
Yeah,
running
absolutely.
fucking 5 second 40-yard dash. Good luck.
Yeah, hitting barriers out, over barriers, and everything.
Let's see Arteta hire pickpockets to pickpocket them.
Yeah, good luck with that. Well, lads, a pleasure as always having you off on our international break now, so we'll see what happens. I'm back tomorrow night, Pro Wrestling Weekly. We'll be doing a review of Bash and Berlin and all the latest pro wrestling news as always. Next week we probably don't have a mashup, Marky, so we only have the interview. Aaron's coming on. He's going to be talking to us from Drogheda United. He's going to be talking about his playing career and what he's been doing, and also this business he has set up, Custom Shins, which is custom shin guards. We're going to be talking to him about that and all, so that should be good. And then we've more interviews lined up. William Tyrrell is coming on then the following week, and he's now the Norwich City scout in Ireland, isn't it? And we're going to be talking to him about that as well, and his playing career as well, and obviously all the other stuff he does. Very interesting as well.
And his college days. A few stories about that.
There you go. You
can tease them. Sacked in the morning after releasing those stories.
There you go. That better be a freak.
Some of them coming out.
Yeah.
But now as well, of a few others in the making, let's just say. There's a few messages back and forth with a few people, so we'll wait and see.
The messages back and forth are, Mark, stop messaging me, you cunt.
Yeah. Deadline day has passed. And all the rest of it. Right, lads, cheers. As always, folks.
That's what you need to do.
There you go. As always, lads, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, drop a like on the video, of course. Make sure, of course, you're going over and supporting Hogan Elite Trophy here. Instagram, Facebook, book those trophies for that special event, the class. And obviously on Greg G-Man as well, on the Slab Horror Show. Check it out for all that good horror stuff. Greg, I actually have a picture that I took, I need to send you as well, on the beach in Fungarola. It's a guy who did these big sand statues, and he had all the horror guys and all the Star Wars guys, and it looks class. Send on to you later. But yeah, really, really cool. So, folks, make sure to check out Greg's channel as well, and we will be back with you real soon. As always, talk to you again. Cheers, lads.
Cheers, lads.